Howdy, my fellow gamers, and welcome back to another episode of Storytime with Freak as we continue through Neal Shusterman's Thunderhead. Look at this, guys. Look at this. We've almost done it. We've almost made it. And I promise that the next series of Storytime, I'm probably going to do 1 to 5 chapters per episode instead of 1 chapter, 1 episode. Because it gets tedious on the editing, and I imagine if you guys are listening to this on a long drive or going to bed, you don't want to have to constantly deal with switching videos. Anyways, we will be live this Sunday with an E3 coverage stream. Feel free to come check that out at twitch.tv/freak_OTRT. And we'll be playing video games all day, chilling, having fun. But without further ado, Chapter 34, The Worst of All Possible Worlds. I understand pain. Perhaps not physical pain, but the pain of knowing something terrible is on the horizon, yet being unable to prevent it. With all my intellect, with all the power vested in me by humankind, there are some things I'm completely powerless to change. I cannot act on anything I am told in confidence. I cannot act on anything my cameras see in private places. And above all, I cannot act on anything that even remotely relates to the Scythedom. The best I can ever do is hint at what's me done in the vaguest of ways and leave action in the hands of citizens. And even then, there's no guarantee that of the millions of actions they could possibly take, they will choose the right ones to avert disaster. And the pain of my awareness is unbearable, because my eyes do not close, ever. And so all I can do is watch unblinkingly as my beloved humanity slowly weaves the rope it will use to hang itself. The Thunderhead. Chapter 34. The bronze doors slowly swung open, and in strode the incinerated scythe. The room filled with gasps of shock and squeaks of chairs as all those gathered rose to take a closer look. Is it really him? No, it can't be. It's some kind of trick. It must be an imposter. He moved down the center aisle with a gait that was not his, looser than before, younger, and somehow he seemed slightly shorter than he should have. Yes, it's Goddard! Risen from the ashes. The timing couldn't be better. The timing couldn't be worse. Entering the chamber in his wake was a familiar figure in bright green. Scythe Rand was alive too? Eyes now looked to the open bronze doors, expecting that Scythe's Chomsky and Volta might also return from the dead today. But no one else entered the chamber. At the rostrum, Xenocrates blanched. What is the meaning of this? Forgive my absence these past few conclaves, Your Excellency, said Goddard in a voice that sounded markedly different. But I was severely incapacitated, and thus Scytheman will. But your body was identified. It was burned down to the bone. My body, yes, Goddard said, but Scytherand was good enough to find me a new one. Then a flustered Scythe Niech rose, clearly as blindsided as everyone else by this turn of events. Your Excellency, I wish to withdraw my nomination for High Blade, he said. I wish to withdraw and officially second Honorable Scythe Goddard's nomination. More chaos erupted in the room, angry accusations and cries of woe, but also excited laughter and bursts of joy. Not a single emotion was absent as people reacted to Goddard's return. Only Brahms seemed unsurprised, and Anastasia realized now that he wasn't the mastermind. He was the worm in the apple. He was Goddard's finger in the pie. This is highly irregular, sputtered Xenocrates. No, said Goddard. What's irregular is that you still have not apprehended the beast who ended dear Scythe's Chomsky and Volta, and attempted to end Scythe Rand and myself. Even as we speak, he runs rampant, killing Scythes left and right, while you do nothing but prepare for your ascension to the World Council. Then Goddard returned to the Scythedom. When I am High Blade, I will take Rowan Damish down, and make him pay for his crimes. I promise you that I will find him within a week of becoming High Blade. The proclamation brought cheers in the room, and more than just the New Order Scythes roared of their approval, making it clear that while Niche didn't have the votes to win, Goddard just might. Somewhere behind Anastasia, Scythe Asimov summed it up best. We have just entered the worst of all possible worlds. Up above, in the administrative offices of the Scythedom, a first-term apprentice searched frantically for a coin. If he couldn't find one, he'd be reprimanded, but worse, he would be humiliated before the entire Scythedom. How fickle the world, he thought, that his life, his future, could rest on a single coin. At last he found one, tarnished green in the back of a drawer that could not have been opened since the Mortal Age itself. The raised image was of Lincoln, a Mortal Age president of some note. There had been a Scythe Lincoln, not a founder, but close. Like Xenocrates, he was mid-American highblade who had risen to be a Grand Slater, but had tired of the heavy responsibility and had self-gleaned long before the apprentice was born. How appropriate, he thought, that the copper effigy of his patron historic would play in such an important role in the naming of a new highblade. When the apprentice returned to the conclave chamber, he discovered to his dismay that things had changed dramatically in his absence, and he lamented that he had missed all the excitement. Xenocrates called for Scythe Curie to come down to the front of the chamber for the coin flip that would begin a debate that would be far different from the one she had expected. Marie decided to take her time. She rose, smoothed her robe, rolled her shoulders to get a kink out of her neck. She refused to give in to the anxiety of the moment. "It's the beginning of the end," she heard Scythe Sun Tzu say. "There's no coming back from this," echoed Scythe Cervante. "Stop," she told them. "Willing that the sky is falling does nothing to stop it." "You must defeat him, Marie," said Scythe Cervante. "You must." "I intend to." She glanced at Anastasia standing stalwart beside her. "Are you ready for this?" Anastasia asked. The question was laughable. How could one ever be ready to battle a ghost? Worse than a ghost, but a martyr? "Yes," she told Anastasia, for what else could she say? "Yes, I'm ready. Wish me luck, dear." "I won't do that." And when Marie looked to Anastasia for an explanation, the girl smiled and said, "Luck is for losers. You have history on your side. You have gravity. You have authority. You are the grand dame of death." And then she added, "Your Excellency." Marie couldn't help but smile. The girl whom she had not even wanted to take on in the first place had become her greatest supporter, her truest friend. "Well, in that case," Marie said, "I'll knock him dead." And with that, she made her way to the front of the chamber, standing tall and proud to face the far from honorable Scythe Goddard. And that is already the end of that chapter, guys. Nice, short, and sweet. Feel free to check out the links down below, follow the Twitch, join the Discord. You know the drill by now. I leave you guys with this question for this episode. Cats or dogs? Why? I'll see you guys next time. Stay freaky.